Good evening. Pauline Hanson has boasted about having one of the worst attendance records in the entire federal parliament, declaring she simply doesn't turn up, missing a year's worth of sitting days.
In a previously unseen part of her exclusive interview with 7 Spotlight, the One Nation leader still insists she's irregular, and she's got a bounce in the latest polls.
The program has gone to air, but for Pauline Hanson, the spotlight is only intensifying.
Who said it was going to be an onslaught?
Oh, come on, Liam.
In an extended interview shown here for the first time, boasting about not doing part of her job.
Your Senate estimates hearings record is the worst.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I don't turn up.
Claiming committees which take evidence on the detail of legislation and the budget aren't worth her time, but insisting she never misses a day in the Senate chamber.
I'm there at Parliament every time when Parliament's sitting. Yes, I am there.
Adamant that outside 7 days suspension for this stunt, she hasn't missed a single day.
When you're passing legislation, I'm there every day.
But official parliamentary record shows she's not. Far from it. Since entering the Senate in 2016, she's missed 76 sitting days, 60 of them without leave, including an entire 2-week sitting in October and November when she joined mining billionaire Gina Rinehart on her private jet to Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate for a Conservative conference, skipping 8 sitting days and 96 votes on 22 pieces of legislation.
She needs to front up to the Australian people, explain herself and apologise for trashing this country.
And questions too over massive budget cuts she tells Spotlight she'd make, about 3/4 of which, $45 billion worth, don't seem to exist.
We'd get rid of the Climate Change Department, about $30 billion a year.
The department's real budget, just $8.7 billion.
Then you've got the Aboriginal industry, and that's another $30 billion.
Total Indigenous funding, though, just $6 billion. While on another topic...
And she also said she loved mass deportation.
No, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Barnaby Joyce adamant.
She didn't say that. It's ridiculous.
But she did.
Do you think, Senator, this concept of mass deportation is a good one?
Oh, I love it.
A love now denied. To put Pauline Hanson's attendance record in some perspective, she's missed the equivalent of 1 full year of parliamentary sittings in the decade since joining the Senate, and she skipped more than 2,000 votes on legislation from immigration and terrorism to health and pay. Now, her followers do forgive her a lot. One Nation's vote rose a point back to 30 in today's news poll, but on this, even the most die-hard supporters are within their rights to say, please explain.
Mark Riley there in Canberra, thank you for that. Well, it was destined to be a World Cup final like no other. Only in America could the star power be just as big off the pitch as on it.
Spain rising to the top, ending Lionel Messi's hopes of adding a final chapter to his Argentina legacy. Across Sydney, fans were up early, riding every moment and the deciding goal. We have the match, the entertainment, the celebrations covered from the USA to Spain.
Rob Scott begins our coverage.
Champions of the world.
Oh, Spain!
Glory in New Jersey, celebrations in Madrid and Barcelona. Spain living the dream, the greatest of all time, reduced to tears.
Perfection is hard to repeat.
After a day that began with joy and hope, 80,000 fans in New Jersey as Tom Cruise set the stage. The president with the best seat in the House, flying in on Marine One. Enter, when the final kicked off, the real game was celebrity sightings. Million legends behind the wheel. From the Queen of Pop to the world's most famous pup, brought in the big gun.
Go out there, don't be nervous, nobody's watching.
When the wait was over,
Who's had a hit? Parried by Martinez. Spain's magic moment!
By fury and frustration. Argentina heartbroken, angry and not hiding it, as Messi cut a lonely figure. So a dream outcome for Spain, winning what is their second World Cup title, but absolute heartbreak for Argentina and their fans. Probably the last time we'll ever see Lionel Messi in a World Cup, not the way these fans wanted to say goodbye to him. A full circle moment. The baby Messi once held. This is Lamine Yamal's time now, shared with his little brother. Donald Trump, as expected, front and centre, as the Spanish celebrated across the globe. Parties as big as the champagne bottles overflowing in the Champions Room. In New Jersey, Rob Scott, 7 News.
Well, let's go live to Tom Saker in Barcelona. Tom, Spain is waking up to a new day on top of the world.
Yeah, that's right, Angie. Certainly a few sore heads this morning and a bit of a slower start than usual than you would see on a Monday morning, but this is the reality they're waking up to. Bicampeones del Mundo, which is twice champions of the world, with their hero Ferran Torres on the front page holding the World Cup. In sport, it's simply Campeones. La Roja on the back page of Sport, lifting the World Cup trophy. Last night, the celebrations were absolutely wild. We're in a stadium packed out with thousands of people as they held on for 150 minutes to every second of that game and that unrelenting barrage of the Spanish attack as they hammered Argentina again and again, finally breaking through 1-0, and the crowd absolutely erupting, first for that goal, then for the final whistle after extra time. It was an absolutely crazy celebration as 50 million Spaniards went absolutely berserk. There were fireworks, flares, even a water fight we saw in a car park outside that stadium after the game. This is a country that certainly knows how to celebrate its national team as it wins its second World Cup, and I can tell you it was absolutely amazing to be here right in the thick of it.
Yeah, incredible. They are quite rightly relishing it. Tom Saker, thank you.
Well, it might have been a world away, but Sydney didn't miss out on the final spectacle. Fans braved the early morning chill at the Coogee Bay Hotel, but the Spanish contingent was understandably all fired up.
Minimal. Pedro Porro, Williams.
The Tumbalong Park Live site was packed and Spain's diehards almost got a little too rowdy. But for Argentinian fans at pubs across the city, a shared loss. It brings to an end 39 days of World Cup wonder, all over for another 4 years.
A bizarre chain of events in Sydney's West overnight after a man crashed a car, then drove it to Mount Druitt Hospital with a woman trapped and unconscious in the passenger seat. Nurses called fire crews who managed to cut the 36-year-old from the wreck. She was transferred to Westmead, where she remains in a critical condition. The 42-year-old driver told police he swerved to miss a cat, then crashed into a power pole, but can't remember where. Jackie Weaver and Ray Martin have led tributes to Darren Hinch at a stirring state funeral for the broadcasting legend.
There were tears and plenty of tall tales, with Hinch saving one last salacious headline until the very end.
The human headline right to the end. Darren's current partner, former actress Linda Stoner, laid a rose on his coffin.
Jackie Weaver here, Darren's third wife.
Was shooting a TV series in Western Australia, but in her message greeted all the women Darren loved.
Hello. I won't mention you individually, we don't have the time. And in the immortal words of Steven Spielberg, we're going to need a bigger boat.
Darren always insisted,
the only thing history owes the dead is the truth.
So today, this breaking news about his interview with singer Bette Midler 53 years ago.
Darren and Bette Midler engaged in a bit of horizontal romper after that interview.
A newspaper American correspondent. He revolutionised talkback radio, hosted a national TV show.
He was brave and brash, with an ego that could light up a small city. But he was also very likeable, and I liked him a lot.
He was jailed for contempt of court in his fight for child sex abuse victims.
Some people pass through life, through public life that is, without leaving a ripple. I tell you, as most of us here know, he created tsunamis.
The way you changed my life. No, they can't take that away from me.
At one stage, he drank 6 bottles of wine a day. Liver cancer led him to a life-saving transplant.
His new liver gave him 15 years, formed his own political party, and election to the Senate. This is an extraordinary achievement for a 72-year-old.
That's life. That's life.
The service finished with his signature song that ended his show every day.
Riding high in April, shut down in May.
Goodbye, my friend. That's life.
Goodbye. I love you, Joby. I've loved you from the very start to the very end.
Nick McCallum, 7 News.
An ISIS bride facing terrorism charges has been granted bail by a court in Melbourne. The mother of 4, Rayanne Al-Houli, was charged with travelling to a declared conflict zone and joining Islamic State. Federal police also allege she recorded herself showing extremist material to her young children. The magistrate said her risk of reoffending is, quote, relatively low, taking into account her PTSD and potential multiple sclerosis. Well, Chris Minns is promising more parking is on the way for some of the busiest metro stations in the northwest. But beyond the headline, there's very little detail. The project doesn't have a timeline for construction. In fact, the plans haven't even been put before council yet.
It's the car park that often has nowhere to park your car. Commuters at Tallawong Metro Station forced to battle the crowds before they even begin their commute, with the park and ride car park often full by 7 a.m.
If you get here after 7, you're pretty much stuffed.
I'm going to go inside and look for a parking, but I'm not too optimistic, to be honest.
The parking predicament now set to change, with the Minns government today unveiling plans to double existing car spaces, adding an additional 1,100 spots in a $160 million multi-storey car park built next to Tallawong Station.
It completely defeats the point of public transport if locals are driving around all day before they can get a car parked.
An additional storey will also be added to the existing Hills Showground car park, adding an extra 100 spaces.
The truth of the matter is it should have been built when the metro went in, but it wasn't.
The funding might be locked in and the government is selling the vision, but the reality is commuters will be forced to wait. There's no timeline for construction to begin or when this new multi-storey car park will open. And once construction does begin, finding a car park will get even tougher, with hundreds set to be swallowed up by building works.
We are looking at what we can do to speed these up, and this is a fast-tracked project.
Taylor Aiken, 7 News.
Our first Aussie athletes have touched down in Glasgow ahead of Thursday's start to the Commonwealth Games.
Matt White is here to tell us all about it. Matt, good evening to you. Our lawn bowlers are the first to arrive.
Evening, guys. Yeah, we love our lawn bowlers. Great stories, and they're in action before the opening ceremony. It is a real race in Glasgow right now to make sure every venue is ready, with just an 18-month lead-up for organisers. So let's go to live to Xander Maguire. Scotland is bracing for a green and gold invasion, Xander.
Absolutely, Matt. Well, the city previously hosted the Games in 2014, but after Victoria abandoned the event, well, Scotland stepped in to save the day. The program will be stripped back and make use of many pre-existing venues like the ones just behind me, but make no mistake, this will be a massive international event. Australia, of course, has a long and rich history with the Com Games, competing in every one since its inception and being the most successful nation. So now Glasgow is preparing to hear the Aussies roar. The first green and gold heroes arrive at Oz HQ. Our bowls team planting the flag, the dream of representing Australia at a Commonwealth Games soon to be realised.
Becoming very overwhelming now. It's all starting to become very real now, getting the kit and everything else.
Without an athlete's village at these reimagined games, Team Oz had to get creative. They've hired a hotel and decked it out with everything Aussie.
It's not my first rodeo, so I've been to a few of the games now, and to be able to walk into this facility and see the possibility of the spaces that we've never had access to previously in a centralised HQ location was immediately really exciting.
Organisers have gone to the nth degree to ensure our champions are fuelled for peak performance on a global stage. 10 sports and 6 parasports will be hosted in a concentrated 7-kilometre corridor. The main hub is the Scottish Events Centre. That includes the Armadillo, where 20 medals are up for grabs, and the Hydro, where our diamonds will be going for gold. At the Scotstoun Stadium, home to track and field, there are 59 medals to be claimed, 56 in the pool at the Tollcross Swimming Centre, and 26 at the nearby Sir Chris Hoy Velodrome. Glasgow came to the rescue when Victoria abandoned the event after outpricing itself. The city is repurposing venues from the games it hosted 12 years ago.
Staging at games in less than 18 months has been record-breaking.
But Glasgow's in the midst of a makeover. Scaffolding and ongoing construction has left locals questioning whether the event will be up to scratch.
There's a real atmosphere in the city, there's an energy, the buildings are going up, everyone's ready, and we're here to welcome the whole Commonwealth.
The Aussies will be reminded of Victoria's role in these games each and every morning. Sonali is volunteering 650 cups of coffee daily with a cheeky little note on the back of the van. Victoria couldn't host, so we brought the coffee.
Bit of tongue-in-cheek, don't mind it. It's sort of Australian right to have a bit of a dig like that.
A relaxing taste of home before it all begins on Friday. In Glasgow, Xander Maguire, 7 News.